Are your holiday weeks rolling by like ours? Well, welcome to Find Music then on Monday, every Monday. Hey, this is episode 498. You know what that means. Woohoo! Our leadoff man is Fred Whitlock. Take it away, Fred.
Well, there's a new release this week, Small Change by Michael Kiwanuka. And it's co-produced by Danger Mouse. And this is his first album since the 2019. It starts out with a song, Floating Parade, and that sets off the sonic sound of this album. It's dreamy, diverse styles. It has R&B, soul music, a little jazzy. Even in a couple of cuts, it gets a little space rock in there. It's haunting vocals and great touch of 70s Afro rock. He has many great styles, and I would say he's influenced a lot by maybe early Bill Withers and later Marvin Gaye. If you like those artists, you'll like him. But his sounds are rich and modern, and the album glides gracefully with haunting vocals in it, and it's got some great tunes. Like I said, the first tune is Floating Parade, and then there's Staying Staying by My Side. It's just a rich album of great soul music and great songwriting. And if you like that album, I would suggest going back and looking at his other two albums. Then there's Bill Frisell, who just keeps turning out albums. This is his second one this year, but this one is a trio, a unique trio, and it's called Breaking the Shell. It features, along with him, Andrew Cryle on drums and Kit Downs on a pipe organ. And it was recorded in a couple of churches. And it's a very interesting, wide-ranging album. Touch of ambience through it all. And the pipe organ just sets an incredible mood that the guitar works all around in beautiful notes. And the trio just works well. There's lots of space for them to work in, and it's a great sense of three musicians coming together and making use of their instruments. The guitar swerves in and out of the pipe organ and all around it. Like I said, it's gentle, abstract, improvised. It's somebody called it a true journey of discovery. It's vibrant because of the gentle drumming that's behind it. And the work of sound and texture works so well. It's a tapestry and a great experimental journey that I highly recommend to give a listen to. Another jazz album, Jazz Fusion, is by Mike Stern, who came out in the 80s backing up Miles Davis. He had he had a gig with later Blood, Sweat, and Tears. He was in the Yellow Jackets and a number of other people he worked with. His newest album is called Echoes and Other Songs. If you like, he came out in the years with Larry Coryell and John Scofield and John McLaughlin. He's standout albums. Every one of them I've always liked, everything I've ever heard by him. But this is a combination of his rock notes with jazz reflection. And it features Chris Potter on saxophone, Christian McBride on bass. These are people he's worked with through the years. There's 7 other people on the album, 7 of the artists, including Jim Beer, who's his co-producer. on keyboards, and this is unfortunately Beard's final project. He died right after this album was recorded. Uh, there's great bass work also by Rick Bono, and he also has some vocals by Bono on a couple of cuts. Now, the big story behind Stern is he had an accident in 2016 or 2015. He was in Europe and he tripped over some unseen construction work that was being done and broke his upper arms, his nerve damage in his hands, and he had a shoulder replacement. It took him quite some time to get back to being able to play guitar. He had to wear a special glove to hold his pick. He could no longer do finger picking. And he did lots of therapy, of course, physical therapy. But this shouldn't take away from the great playing. Nowadays, he uses a special glue and tape to hold his pick in his hand. But the guitar playing is just tremendous as always. And every cut gets a stretch out. It's a testament to his great blues rock jazz playing. And everyone gets a chance to stretch out, or every instrument gets a chance to stretch out in these cuts. So it's a great jam, and it's definitely an album that's going to make jazz history. It's beautiful, stylish, and just exceptional work, I think, from this guy. I've been following him since I ever heard of him, and I've always liked his kind of sometimes rapid flying notes, and then other times he settles down into a nice groove. There's no limitations with him. There's a couple of cuts that is almost touching on African music. So I suggest this album. Look into it, Echoes and Other Stories. Now, Warren Haynes is no new name. He's been, as everyone knows, he's been around from quite a few years with Government Mule, and he was in the Allman Brothers with Derek Trucks. And Derek is co-producer on a number of cuts on this album and actually plays with them. So there's some great jams. It's gutsy, soulful numbers. He's at his best vocals ever on this album. It's been a decade since he's done a solo album. And his skill is at the top of his game, his skills. There's some gripping numbers, some great vocals. Actually, I said Day of Reckoning's a great tune with Lucas Nelson as one of the people on it, and Jamie Johnson is on that cut. It's 80 minutes of just great sounds, great guitar playing. It pays, the last cut on the album, Million Voices, pays tribute to some of the soul singers and blues singers that he loves. It's dedicated, the album's dedicated to Dickie Betts. There's one cut, Real Love, that Greg Allman started writing, but he died and never finished, and Hayes took it up and finished the song, and it's on the album, and he works it out with Trucks on it, on slide guitar. So if you like rock guitar, this is an album to check out because there's some great jams on this album.
Commentary?
These people you recommended sound like my kind of music to check out.
Oh, really?
Really, really.
Mr. Charlie Avant-Garde Zero.
It's my kind of,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm intrigued now how Fred describes it.
Hey, Fred, Did you say one of these guys is dead?
The Jim Beard, the keyboard, one of the keyboard players and who used to co-produce all the Stern albums. He died right after the album was recorded.
Wow. Okay. I guess that's it. Investigate this music, people. Mike Stern, the Bostonian. In
Yeah,
case you didn't already know,
it's
you
an
might know.
incredible story. If you look up his story, how he came back from his accident, I mean, he had numerous surgeries, everything. He's
Hmm.
wired together. It's
Yeah, the
just an
wife was a
incredible
musician too.
story that he can still record. He actually recorded an album called Trip, kind of tongue in cheek about
Oh, geez,
his
that's funny.
falling over this construction work site.
I'm wondering
Laugh
about that
about it.
special glue. Sounds like a great name for a band.
One site described it as wig glue. Glue
Oh,
that
okay, I get it.
to hold a
Okay.
wig together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adhesive.
Find music where you can find out. There's glue for everything. So let's move on to another type of substance.